Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel Ultimate Abundance. And this is Vikas. Today, we're going to discuss about something very, very unique. I don't think a lot of people have discussed about it. So, this is a very unique observation of myself and the knowledge that I've gained through books and observations and through meditation. So I just like to share that with you because we had this conversation with my kids today. So I thought this would be a very good topic to make a video about it so that I can share my knowledge or observation with you guys. It could be helpful. It could be unique. It could be helpful in deep down taking decisions in different things. How are you gonna put it? I'll give you some sort of little bit of ideas about it, and then you can figure this out by yourself. So today's video is about the color combination and their meanings and their effects on our bodies, and not only our bodies, our lives, basically. So let's start with the color. I've actually written down some of the colors so I don't take too long thinking about it. So let's start with the color red. Red is considered as a white, as our blood color, basically. Um, why? I mean, consider it is a blood color, dark red. Then you have different shades of red. So the darker we goes, the blood start to see more of a mixture of red and a black. Basically, the meaning of red is aggression, energy, ego. Ego doesn't mean by the negative aspect of ego only. Ego could be your establishments in your life. Ego could be your achievements, your gains, your respect, whatever you have accumulated through this life. Based on your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, or whatever the achievements are that you had, or it was given to you by your ancestors. So these are still your things which brings up the ego in you. Like somebody who's really rich, it could be rich because he worked so hard. It could be rich because his father handed him over a lot of wealth and accumulations, what he had it from his grandparents and so. Um, the That was just to clear the meaning of red color when we say ego. But ego is not always a negative word. Ego is what is a driving force. So it can be used as a negative thing. But if someone doesn't have anything, but it still has a lot of ego, that ego is basically could be considered as a hallucination in terms of whether you don't have anything, but you're still assuming that you're still really egoistic, assuming that you have a lot. But have a lot does not only mean by the materialistic things, it could be spiritual abilities as well. Now, red color is a symbol of strength, power, energy. In your body, it represents your blood, also your digestive system. Let's say if red is a spice and it's lacking in your body, so what it do to you that because the red is also significant of fire. So fire is your digestive system, which burns the food and then converts into um, a form that can be given to the digestive system to retrieve all the nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and all that, right? Let's to make it short, right? Red is associated with the digestion system. So, which digests the system, and more digestion good you have, more strength you have gut power. You heard the word gut power. So gut power came from the color red. Basically, you have more gut. That means you have a lot of fires in you. You don't sit. If somebody wants to shut you down, They need a lot of energy to do that because you got a lot of energy going, a lot of aggression going on, right? It's like a chief military personnel who is basically given task to achieve, then he will be achieving because he needs aggression. That's his personality trait. That also represents the color red in, by the way, for personality traits. Now, again, there are a lot of mixtures of red, which we'll discuss as well, like how this person could be red and other color mix. So red is like energy, ego, and your digestive system at the same times. It's the force behind it. It's like a rocket with a lot of fires underneath, which lifts it up. So without red, we lose our life force. Psychologically, physically, as well as morally. So red color is very important. I know it's considered sometimes as a very aggressive color. It is aggressive color, but it's only not used as with the common sense and with other color combinations. When I say combinations, means wisdom and theoretical knowledge and experience and all that. Right? So red is a very good color. Next, we'll move on to the color blue. Blue is considered as the color of water, even though water doesn't have its own color. So blue is associated with coolness. So water and fire, they're always opposite of each other. So the red can be calmed by the water. The water can be diminished or destroyed by the fire, depending who's heavy on what, right? If a lot of water on a little bit of fire, obviously fire will go away, and the vice versa would diminish the other element. So basically, we're also connecting these colors to certain elements. Like you have 5 elements everywhere. So we'll make a different video about the elements, but right now I just want to stick with this color combinations and color meanings. So blue color represents water. Water represents clarity and also represents the coolness. Coolness doesn't mean the cool word that we use, that he's cool and I'm cool, right? It's not that cool. Cool means basically is sometimes you heard the word that person is very cold and this person is very warm. They also mean by that is this person is cold-hearted and that person is warm-hearted. They also represents, or they judge people based on how much sympathy they show you towards your griefs and tragedies. If someone is very sympathetic with you, if your family member, your brother or sister, it could be very sympathetic with you. You could say, okay, this person is very, very sympathetic, very nice, very warm-blooded, very warm to deal with. And on the other hand, if it's a cold person, they will say, if the person is not very, very, very sympathetic, not very emotional, they're also considered as a cold people. So let me just rectify myself. Don't take it wrong when I say that it's cold people or warm people. Warm people could be wrong. Cold people could be wrong, right? Now, I'm just going to tell you both sides of the color blue and what it represents in color combinations or in terms of colors and personalities and energies. So the blue represents basically coldness, which also means water, which also represents clarity. So clarity means more clear you are in your objectives in your life, in your goals in your life, more you have tendency to achieve them, more possibility to achieve those goals. So the clarity means different ways. So now listen very carefully. Clarity means that you are very, very focused on that one single goal that you're trying to achieve. Now that goal could be in sales goals or anything. I'm talking about emotional goals, about a relationship, about money matters. It could be different goals, right? So let's take a goal, doesn't matter which goal. If you're trying to achieve that goal, if somebody is coming and trying to either give their unwanted suggestions or you're surrounded with people who have to give you a suggestion just because they know you, right? There are people around all of us. So you are listening to their suggestions, but you're not letting yourself being affected by those. You're not letting those suggestions affected uh, your your goals or your motives or your path wherever you're going. So that means in people's eye you're probably a cold person, or you're telling them, okay, just leave me alone, I know what I'm doing. It may sound rude to some people, but just because you're clear, they don't understand that, because for them the goal is yours. They may or may not have the clarity about that goal, right? So they could be right, but how strong you are, that also determine the possibility of you achieving the goal, not only right or wrong. So basically, the other people are coming and telling you this is not right, whatever your goals are. So you're basically saying, okay, that's fine, I get it, now let me work on my thing. And you don't argue with them, you're just calm, and you know exactly what you're doing, and you have possibility of achieving your goal. That means you are clear, you know exactly where you're going with this, and you're very, very clear with this. And now clarity also means success in terms of achieving your goals. So more clear you are, more independent you are, more possibility of you succeeding. So I'm not taking, don't take any, if you are a cold person and you want to be successful, and then you say, oh, I want to be a complete color blue, and then I want to take any suggestions from anybody else. That's not the idea here. The idea here of being yourself, if you think you don't have clarity about anything, how the clarity comes? Clarity comes from the wisdom. Either that wisdom comes from some source, it has to come from, or it comes from, I believe the wisdom comes from inside. Right? So when you are ready to receive the wisdom can take shapes of a guru or book or video, or video like this. Somebody might be looking for meanings of color, so here's the video for that. But the wisdom can be of different shapes. So anyways, coming back to blue is a color of clarity. It's also called calm. In Indian astrology system, if you have this color is also connected to the planet Saturn. Saturn is a very cold planet. It's considered as somebody who's considered as a Saturn personality, born under that sign or influenced by the sign. That's a big chapter again. It's something else. That's considered as a person very, very harsh. You can also use the word rude in terms of, if you don't understand what a clear or a straightforward person actually means. The good attributes of that person is very clear in telling you everything on the face. That's also color blue. That's a Saturn. So people who have good Saturn ingredients in their body, on their soul. If you don't know what I mean by ingredients, watch my video about other videos where I also explain about how we are made out of different ingredients by different energies of these planets. By the way, so coming back to blue, Saturn is represented by the color blue. That's why in some astrologers, they do recommend you to wear the blue sapphires, because that makes you cold person. Now, if somebody is already a warm person and you make them wear a blue sapphire, so obviously it's like somebody who does not really like the cold food. They always love the warm food. Their body is not accepting that cold food that you're making them eat, so they might throw up. It's like somebody with the saint figure who is very, very close to the animal, loves the nature, and you make him work in a butcher shop. So what's going to happen? This person will feel like throwing out when he sees the blood. He has to cut the animals or all that, right? So obviously that's how the colors are. So if you are harsh, you are very clear on your face. That's color blue, but the meaning of that is they're not being affected by other things. They're very clear, but they're also cold-hearted. So if you're expecting somebody being more sympathetic, that's not blue. They might show being a social person. They might some they have the color. Just to let you know, people are not just one color. They're a combination of different colors, but sometimes one color is more dominating than the other. Just to let you know. So if somebody is a blue color, that does not mean that person is always a harsh person. It could be a good power of Saturn mixed with the power of Jupiter, or mixed with the power of some other planet, which is basically, instead of being a very dark blue, it's fading up those colors and also affecting your personality accordingly. This video is a bit long. I apologize for that. I just want to make sure I explain, because I got some other colors to explain. So I will continue with the blue. Blue is the color of water clarity. Now, jump on to the color green. So green is considered as nature. All the energy that comes from sun, it's being observed by the plants, and plants and humans, or I would say living beings, which also include the animals, as are the main thing that the earth is containing right now. We are both helping each other. Plants are helping us. We are helping plants. The sun is being observed by the plants, and the plants turn green. There is ingredient in the plants that's found, which gives the plant the greeniness, which gives us the sun energy. Now, going back to the green, green is considered, in personality wise or in effects wise, green color means knowledge. The knowledge that comes from reading books, by higher education, and the knowledge is also like artwork. Somebody could be a very good artist, could be a very good singer, could be a very good actor. So these things are basically considered in a color green. So when we talk about green people are basically people who are in accountings, in calculations, could be in artwork, could be a very good artist, person who has a good ability to speak, good ability to lecture or influence somebody else, good ability to put their words together in any situation. That's basically color green is considered. And again, as I give you the example of astrology, Vedic astrology, astrologers, they do recommend wearing a green emerald in order for you to get some green energy. So the meaning of that is, again, getting the green energy, you receiving those green vibes inside your body, which makes you retrieve your body magnetic, or I would say, which makes your body more magnetic towards receiving the green, which is the knowledge. The green is basically color of retrieving knowledge, and also in astrology it represents the planet Mercury, which is a neutral planet. It can adjust with a lot of different planets, obviously with not all the energies, but obviously a lot of planets can get along with the green, just because green is basically knowledge, which represents again the other colors. Now I want to talk about another very important color, which is yellow. Yellow is also considered as color of wisdom. And again, as I connect the other ones to the astrology, I will also do that a little bit here, that the yellow is also a color of Jupiter. Jupiter is considered as a planet which gives you wisdom. Now, I give you two different examples. There's one person, a person like Sadhguru. If you haven't heard it, you can always search his a lot of videos. He's a very famous mystic from India. And then other example I can give you, a businessman. You can take Donald Trump. You can take Bill Gates. Now, Sadhguru is a person like Sadhguru represents a yellow, and a person like Bill Gates also represents a blue mixture of green, because he's very good in marketing and calculations and all that. So Sadhguru is teaching you the lessons to make yourself better so that you can generate a better decision. Once your body is good, you're eating good, you're doing good exercises, your energies are flowing right, your brain tend to give better decisions. You make you do whatever you do it right, or you do it mostly right. In terms of Bill Gates, he's a good businessman, very wise person, very smart person. When we ask him about the energy fields, and when we ask him about the basis of life, he probably wouldn't know everything about it, but he's very good in running the business. So blue is also very good for today's life, and the yellow is also very good for long-term life, which means if you're talking about 10, 15 generation or time to come, or the generations to come, if you'd want to do something improving the lives or improving the generation right now, you'll be thinking to fix the roots of it. The roots are not only correcting people by giving them knowledge, but telling them the knowledge is all around them. They just need to fix themselves, be receptive to the knowledge, and retrieve the knowledge. So that's Sadhguru versus the Mr. Bill Gates. And I have respect for both of them. And they're all good in one thing. And the other thing I just want to tell you, add up to this, if somebody is color blue, that doesn't mean they don't have the factors of yellow. Sometimes in Indian mythology, they say you are coming to this life. Every time you come, you actually come to clear up your karmas, or the karmic bundles that you're carrying on yourself. Every time you come here, you basically, if you have to suffer, you have to suffer in terms of, but you're here not to suffer. You're here to correct those things so that you can move on to the next step. It's like a staircase. You're going one step at a time, and then you keep on improving until you achieve your ultimate goal, which is again, as per Indian mythology, it's the achieving your goal. When you achieve that salvation. Anyway, that's a different topic again. That's basically, if somebody is Sadhguru, he probably could have been a very good businessman, a completely a blue personality. Now he's a yellow. He's already done that. Same thing with Mr. Bill Gates. He could be a very good mystic, or a person very close to the divine, and now he's a very good businessman. So there are steps of life. You cannot really condemn anybody in terms of color wise. So green is a color of knowledge, marketing, artwork. Also a very, very important to run the life. See, the green vegetables and stuff are very good to eat, and then it maintains your body in a very natural state of vibrations. So if you don't eat a lot of vegetables, obviously you tend to be more of protein eating people. When I say protein eating people or living beings, whoever the animals or human beings, they're consuming more proteins, they tend to have a lot of energy, sometimes more than you really need, unless you are a wrestler, you are a bodybuilder, you are really doing some hard work, physically hard work, right? But again, that's a different topic. We will not really go deep into it. Again, that's something, if someone does not eat the green vegetable, that doesn't mean they're not the good human beings or so, but it just it brings you to the natural state. That's why I like to point out on that. Eating green is a good thing. It brings you back to your original form, which is a human being, your natural soul, which is already divine enough. So now I just want to shed a little bit of light on yellow. I think I started with the yellow and then we brought it back to the green. but yellow is color of wisdom, which gives you it's a form of red. If you add white in red, now yellow is a mixture of red and white. Red is exertion, a lot of energy, aggression. And now I want to explain a little bit out of the white before I go back to yellow, because uh, yellow is a color that has no colors in it. You probably have heard or already know about it that when you talk about color yellow, it's summer days. Some summer days are very hot. We always say, "Oh, we should wear white because we don't want to feel more hot." And people avoid wearing black in those days because black is a color that absorbs more, and then white is reflects back all the other colors. So when I say reflects back, that means it's like a very determined, very clear, very strong personality or a color which does not let any other colors affect it. But it depending how strong the white personality is, if we talk about people. If somebody is white in personality, but they are easily being affected by some other personality or colors, that means they are not strong white. When I say strong white means white person, when I say, let me give you another example of being white. White, a person or a saint who has done meditations or, who has touched the divine somehow. And now this person is so clear about the life and questions. Even if you become angry on that person, even if you insult him in different ways, this person will not really get affected. He will still see you as a fool or a child or a person without knowledge that he has. So that when I say white personality that does not really get anybody comments get effect on their personality, that's what I mean by white. So white color is basically a color that reflects back all the colors. Now we'll come back to white. Let me just finish the yellow one because yellow is very, very important color. Other than that, we have other colors that combinations. So yellow is the combination of red and a lot of yellow in it, a lot of white in it. I'm sorry. So when these both are mixed, so there's a person who's very determined, very, very energetic, a lot of fire in him. At the same time, the water is there. I mean, the white color is there to balance that energy, the extra energy. Now, the white makes this person do not get affected by anybody who's ever doing. So when I say yellow, yellow also represents the people like Sadhguru. The mystics who have make themselves so big from inside. It does not really matter what anybody is saying or doing because they really know the ultimate truth about everything. So these are the yellows in short. And now I just want to talk quickly about some other color combinations. Like there's a orange, pink, brown, and the blue purple and the red purple. They're different. So let's talk about a color orange. Orange basically becomes when you mix red and yellow. So here's the red personality, which is very aggressive. Then you have the yellow personality, which is again a combination of yellow is made, like I said, it's made with the two different combinations. So it will have three different personalities in it. This person will be, because orange itself is a family of red. So when you mix red and yellow, it will turn into somewhat orange, depending on how much yellow you're adding, how much red you're adding, right? But yellow itself is a combination of two different colors. You have a red color, and then you get a lot of white in it. So this person could be orange personality. If somebody is um, very determined. Aggression is determination also, because that's your power, that's your strength, that's your ego, that's your willpower. And then you have a combination of white and um, red, which is again the red. So there's more of a red, and then uh, a yellow in it and white in it. As we all know, when we're making color orange, if we keep adding white in it, it will eventually become yellow. If I'm right. I've done some color combinations, and I know this is how it works. So I could be a little wrong by a little bit, but as you keep adding white, eventually white is a clarity. All the aggressions, and egos will diminish. More clarity you get. So doesn't matter how red you are, if you keep adding white to you, more clarity to you, you will become more clear person. All these egos, aggressions, it will become your inner strength, but it will not affect you negatively. So talking about the next color, which is pink, which is a mix of red and white, straightforward. Again, add a little bit of white in red, it becomes pink. Pink also represents a color with Indian astrology, Vedic astrology. I think they relate this color to Jupiter. This color is a combination of a lot of strength, a lot of ego, positive ego, and a white color, which is clarity. So like orange, and you probably see a lot of Indian sages, the gurus, they like to wear orange, and pink is not adopted by that, but again, pink is also considered as a very divine color, as it relates to somebody who is a guru-like figure. And the other next color that I want to discuss is the brown color. The brown becomes by adding blue and red. So as we discussed before, red is the energy, red is the ego, red is basically the driving force, and blue is the clarity. So when they both combine together, they become brown. So in personality wise, we're talking about if we know somebody who is very energetic, and he's also very clear about what he wants. Like I was when I was talking to my kids today, and I was talking about a person who throw balls. The game where they actually have a big heavy metal ball, they have to throw it, and they have a target where they really want to throw that ball. So there are people who knows where to throw, and if you're only red, that you're full of anger, you don't know where that point is. So being a person of blue, then you have somewhat clarity. You're not letting that clarity being affected by somebody else. So ladies and gentlemen, this was the video about some color combinations. Please do subscribe to my channel, and give me a like if you guys like the video, you find it useful, if somebody is looking to combination. Again, I'm not a guru. I just find this wisdom by reading some books and retrieving this knowledge from a lot of different gurus, and also definitely through meditation, the little what somewhat I do. So please do comment. If you have any questions, write it down, and spread this video around so people could get a different aspect of things. Because by spreading the meaning of colors, you should see life, and you should see the meaning in everything around you. Nothing is useless. Everything has an atom in it, as science says. Every atom has some sort of energy, and every atom's energy is considered, water has different elements, and so on. Wood has different, stone has different, metal has different metal has different molecules. So everything is considered as that. So is the colors. They have vibrations attached to them. So treat colors accordingly from now on if you can, and see the difference. Start wearing difference depending on where you're going, what you're doing. Start wearing how you're feeling. If you're feeling low, try wear red. If you're feeling less wisdom, try wearing yellow. If you're feeling less clarity, try wearing white. So these colors might help you. Then if you need to observe everything, then try wearing black. So this way, at least you might see some effect in you and your personality. Please, thank you very much for watching this video. I know this video was a little too long, but I hope I highlight some of the areas that you were seeking for. Thank you very much. I'll end this video right now by saying thank you again. Thank you.